He has just left. He still is in the airport, and we are.
Yeah.
Papa is having. What are you having, Pa?
Bituka.
Pituka of the baboy or the pig.
Baboy.
Baboy? Yeah. Okay. Bituka of the pig.
That one chicken, yung isa baboy.
Oh, the one they gave me is. This is what they gave me. Bituka of the
Chicken.
chicken. Magkano isang stick ngayon dito, Ruby?
5, tapos 2 piso yung chicken.
Mahal naman.
Mura na nga eh.
Chicken. You've got to kill a chicken for that.
Mura naman. Mahal naman. Okay. And that's Ruby. Say hi, Ruby.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you. Okay.
Chicken for beer?
Can you have beer, Pa? Let's ask the nurse. No?
No, he doesn't. No, cannot.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, let's eat.
Come on, let's eat. I'm eating.
And what was Macy's favorite piece? This was mine and hers was something else.
I don't remember. You get it, Papa likes this. You get this.
You don't like this spice too hot?
Much. Hey, don't you like that?
I do.
You go like.
No.
Because I sent it over not better.
Oh,
Can you finish all that? Or can you finish it? Okay, give me that. I'll send it to you. Mayang, come over please. I mixed it too, and we cannot finish it, so you can take that. And
What do you call this?
macaroni
salad.
macaroni salad from Wendy's.
And as part of my birthday party. So I sent an email to Danny, even if he's still there. Send him my email. Hope you had a nice trip. We just came back from dropping you off. But I know you're still there.
And you will read that when you arrive there.
Yeah, but it's already there. It's already there. The message is already waiting for you. It's already in his mailbox.
And if you don't know how to read, what should I?
She refuses to learn.
Doesn't really. Too full. Right. Passport right there.
Kuha ko! Kumakain ako! No, na, ayaw na pa. I still have pocket.
Oh, they give it to me. Definitely.
You're sure pa?
I have some salad, Papa. Thank you. Okay, you want to pass it off to Noni?
Yeah.
No. But yeah. That's what surprised me about Jimmy O when he was describing Jerry's style of writing. Beautiful, the way you said it. Everybody was very large. You should read what this girl, Baby Nuts, says about
It is gone to the great beyond.
That's what she said. Says, I grieve with you over his loss, but I rejoice with you over his having gone to the great beyond. Because he will not live his ganito, because he understands everything the way she can see it.
So you guys want ice cream or that's good?
No? Other than that, I'm very full. And Papa is a banana.
And I've had pituka. And you have had pituka.
Yeah.
So this is the first dinner that we have together
Do you
without
want this? It is
espasol.
espasol.
Ah,
Special espasol.
from Los Baños.
You know, it's,
I thought you were referring to the pen.
yeah, it's alright. Yes, it is.
Espasol.
The term looking for. Okay, because I was thinking of the incident during my interview at Starbucks. When he said, when my response was, if I am the victim of a high pressure salesman, request me by something that I couldn't get at my previous job, they expect me to like selling. You know. That expression of mine gave him an indication that I was articulate. Articulate.
Who is this?
Well, I was interviewing me for my job at Starbucks.
Oh,
Do you know how it happened? And here was Papa looking for a job. I mean, he was dissatisfied at being a
No, I
worker
meant
concession. You're looking for a job.
I had no job.
All right, he was jobless. And
can you move in? I'm afraid. Okay, thank you.
he was jobless. And I was standing at the plaza behind Plaza Santa Cruz Church.
Oh, over there?
Yeah, Plaza Santa Cruz Church, waiting for a bus, a jeepney. And along comes Oscar Natividad, the father of this girl who just wrote Natividas, and stood beside me and he said, for si Kuya, no? He said, oh, it's Kuya. And then I said, well, walking around. Then he said, will you tell him that there's an opening at Standback, an opening at Standback for an engineer.
Yeah.
And it was offered to me, but I cannot get it because I'd rather stay in the army. He said, you tell Kuya about it. So I told Papa about it. And he immediately went to apply. He was taken. And in the interview, they asked him, how much salary would you be pleased, would satisfy you? He said, I'll ask my wife about it. So he comes home and I said, 250, we're happy now with 250.
A month?
A month. No, in those days, 1944, 45. All right, 250. So he goes over there, and before Papa could tell he's 250, the guy said,
500.
Would Mrs. Hill be satisfied if we gave you 450? The Papa almost fainted, but he said, well, I think so.
Yeah,
Of course, the first thing, I think so. So, we owe Oscar, because of that, I have felt very grateful and very happy over Oscar and Marina and having very close to their family. And then now they've been tried all over Jerry.
May I ask you a stupid question? Why were you jobless? Oh, that was when you just brought the whole family to Manila? Or you? I don't know the real history of this family really. Yeah, so.
When the war broke out, Papa was with the Bureau of Public Works in Bacolod. He was an engineer in the motor pool. Motor pool ba?
Assistant mechanical engineer for the time.
And where was the family in Cebu?
No, we were in Bacolod.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't he and me. I hadn't born Jerry yet.
Okay, okay.
Pregnant.
Wala pa
We
si
had two
Jerry.
maids.
Okay.
We had two maids. Then the war came. Let me tell you how we learned about the war. We were coming from church because it was December 8 here, although in the States it was December 7.
Yeah.
Virgin Mary, it's December 8 Assumption, Virgin Mary. So we were walking along, and suddenly over the radio from each of the houses that we passed by, news flash, Pearl Harbor has been bombed. Japan, and so on. And you could hear that through the radio as you walked along the road.
It's the same
The
station.
same station.
Yeah,
You could read on and on.
Yeah.
As soon as we arrived, Papa said, well, he said, I have to resign. No, not resign. To sign up.
I have to report.
I have to report for duty.
Mhm.
So, Papa reported for duty. That was a Monday, although it was a Sunday in the States. It was
Yes.
a Monday. So he reported for duty that day. And that's another story now. Okay, so Papa reported for duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
They were going to be moved out. They were moving out. They were moving out of his army. His unit was moving out. I don't know when, but the law came that every government official and every army person would be given 3 months pay in advance. Because, well, I won't say the cost. What I only know is we all knew, we civilians knew that the war would end in 2 weeks. That's what we
Wishful
knew.
thinking.
No, we were sure that the United States would
Bomb,
would come and
bomb.
we just do like that to Japan. We didn't realize that all the ships and all the planes of the United States in Hawaii had been bombed and sunk and destroyed. Anyway, 2 weeks. So Papa wanted to get his salary was 250. His salary was 250 a month as a lieutenant.
150.
150. My salary was 130. So I got 3 months pay, Papa got 3 months pay. We all went home with our very crisp new bills. And I prepared for war. Papa put me in the hands of provincial treasurer.
Where was Lela? Where was Lela?
I know what.
Oh.
I know what. So,
And this is in Bohol? Where is this?
Bacolod,
Bacolod.
Negros. So from there, we all evacuated. When I say we, I mean this provincial treasurer, Galvez was the name.
Who was taking care of
He
you?
was taking care of
And
me.
you were all alone?
I
No
was
Jerry, no
alone.
Danny, no John Doy, no
Just a
Choy.
pregnancy with 2 maids.
With Jerry? You were
With
pregnant with Jerry?
Yes. So we evacuated with this Galvez, we evacuated to Murcia,
Again, what year is this? 41?
1942.
So Jerry was born 42?
Yeah, 42.
Okay.
The war started December 7,
1941.
1941. And then Jerry was born in Murcia, where I was evacuating in 1942, March. Okay, the war surrender of Bataan, fall of Bataan came April 9th,
His birthday.
his birthday.
Yeah.
Then he came back, they did not surrender. The people, the army in the fighting units in Mindanao did not surrender.
Not all.
Not all, some did. Some did.
Sadly.
But his unit did not. They just disbanded and went AWOL.
Yeah.
So Papa came back to Negros. I don't know how he found us. How did you find me?
He smelled you out.
No. There was a fellow, his name was Enrique del Castillo.
Eric.
Eric. He was ordered to get some parts for radio because he was on the signal
Course.
portion. And I asked him to see.
To look for me.
Yeah, I looked for her at the provincial treasurer's office, so he looked up.
Then
Is
he
it that
traced.
easy to look for a person
No,
during
no,
the war? No?
You're talking about, no, the war was not in Negros.
Okay. Okay.
So he found us. So I don't remember having met him though. He found us. And then one day he came Papa looking for us. And Jerry was already born. Then since he was
Jerry was 3 months old when I first saw him.
So you were not in Mama's side. You were not in Mama's side with
I
Jerry.
had a midwife for my caring back.
How about the other kids? Were you beside Mama when she was
She
delivering?
says no, because when she's delivering, I'm out on a trip.
Yeah.
Same
Papa
with
was
me.
never
You never were
I don't know about
beside.
this boy.
You never were beside Mama and all the 10 kids.
I think that was by the remark.
Okay.
Nawag.
It was Lawag. And so, Papa came home, and since it was AWOL, he was therefore shoot on sight if you could find him.
Yeah.
So everybody said the thing to do was
Hide.
to hide.
Yeah.
And the nicest place to hide was in Manila.
Yeah.
So we got on a sailboat, a batil, a boat which was about a 6 meters from the blackboard until here.
Mhm.
All open, but there was a third cabin,
Mhm.
and we paid enough so that my family,
Jerry, you,
me, Papa, and 2 mates
Yes.
would stay in that
Uh-huh.
cabin. All the
And it
rest,
was all yours. It was like a chartered boat.
No?
No. There were a lot of refugees.
Okay, because I thought a big time kayo if you had the whole group
No,
to
just a
yourself.
little cabin was ours. But all the others slept out there. So when it rained, they were all very wet. Just tarpaulin, of course,
Yeah.
tarp like that. But there was one baby that was very sick with pneumonia. And she asked, could you please stay in the cabin with us? So she comes into the cabin with us the first, second night. Jerry caught pneumonia.
Okay.
Jerry caught it. And we were 9 days on the trip.
7.
7 days.
From where to where?
From
is this?
Bacolod.
No,
To Batangas.
that is.
From the northern part of the island
Yeah.
to the southern part of Batangas. Just
Okay.
a distance which
Oh,
can be covered.
9 days.
It can be 7, which can be covered now in one night.
Yeah.
Well, it
But,
was.
yeah, sailboat, as you
Sailboat,
said.
and we were become. There was a time and really we were become. Nothing. We just didn't move.
No oars? No oars or
big.
no propeller?
No,
No
it's a
nothing?
huge ship.
Nothing?
No, it was a sailboat.
I will give you an idea. Maybe it's different from
The blackboard up to here daw, sabi ni Ma'am.
longer.
Longer?
Up to the end of the house.
Oh,
Even
okay.
longer.
Of my office.
Mhm.
Up to the end of my office.
The wall siguro.
And
Out
then
in
the wide,
Palma.
the width
And
is
the
from
width is maybe this to 1/2 of the kitchen.
dining room.
And when there is no wind, you just wallow.
Yeah, you just
So
go like that.
What year is this again? 1940?
42.
No internal combustion engines yet?
You're on the Japanese time already.
All the ships were under Japanese. We were sneaking out.
Oh.
In fact, when we left, we had to leave at night. And all the guards, whenever the guards came, you pretend to be somebody else. You don't know. So Papa and I came under the name
A different
Ferrer.
an alias.
Ferrer, yeah. He was Ferrer. I was Dominga Ferrer. And so, okay, so we came over at Batangas. As soon as we got to Batangas, we went to a doctor
For Jerry.
At what is called? Dr. Mandanbayan at Bawan, Batangas.
Batangas, yes. As soon as we reached the place, first thing we went was a doctor. And then we got on a bus and rode to Manila.
Mhm.
And Papa immediately went to a relative of his,
Nanay man.
Nanay Mine, and we parked there. And he went to look for Mama,
Roy went.
for Roy. I thought Roy went to look, huh?
Roy to look.
Went to look for Mama.
Yes, after well, you gave the instructions.
Well, yeah, because we knew it was in Mandaluyong. And we went there, and Jerry was very sick. Oh, he was really.
How old is Jerry? How many
3
months?
months.
8 months?
Three.
3 months?
Oh.
She was the youngest passenger of the
And Manang Binang carried him so that he would be up this way, and Manang Maura carried him, and Manang Binang had a steaming kettle where they put Vicks.
Yeah.
And she would follow Manang Maura, where Manang Maura would dance with him around, and
The steam had to be in his
steam had
face.
been, yeah. And they did that for 3 days, and they cured him. That's why I'm eternally grateful to Manang.
Is she still with us?
Yeah, she's still around. In fact, as
Was she in the party we went to in the sports club?
oh, no more. She's too old. She was invited,
Oh.
but she's now 89 years old.
Okay.
And
She's still alert.
oh yes, the mother of Francis Raldonsa, that big,
Yeah, that one who gave us C5, the C5 tour.
That was Manangina. That's why we're very close to her. And when she was working for her husband's back pay, it was I who worked on it. We got her pensions. Up to now, she's still getting her pensions.
Good.
Okay, so we came out here, and we rented a house in where? In Pasay, a house in Pasay. And Roy lived with us, and Andoy lived with us,
Mhm.
and Mama and I, Papa, and 2 maids. We stayed there for 2 years, throughout the war.
No, because you sent the maids to Lalak.
Yes, and Mama became the maid practically.
During all of this time, bombshells were flying
No,
overhead.
No, not yet.
But I thought it's war already.
Yeah, it was war, but it was there in Palau, it was there in The United States did not attend to us for 2 years. For 2 years. It was all concentrated in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So Europe, Africa, those were fighting.
Yeah.
Then 1943, ayun, the United States turned to
Pacific Rim.
Douglas MacArthur became general.
I shall return!
I shall return.
The famous words.
That was what he said when he left.
And he left when he surrendered.
He did not
left. No,
surrender.
he didn't surrender.
He left.
He left.
Babalik ako. Kailan?
Return. Oh my God.
Kailan ka babalik?
During the war. Because Roy we were on to radio. We had,
High tech, huh?
yeah,
High-tech.
Yeah, by your standards, that was
yeah,
high tech.
we had, what is this? Bawal radios. So we wired around the bed, under the bed. The antenna is supported around it. You would have to listen lying down and then you just...
Is that powered by kuryente or battery?
Yeah, kuryente still.
So you still had electricity?
Yes, there was still, it was still a city.
Okay.
And we listened like that, and other times we would just talk to each other, whisper. And there was one time when, because pura-pura is always the Japanese name for...
Come here.
No, get out, get ready.
Okay.
Pura. So at night, especially when it was already the end, mga 1943, 1944, you were black out. You were not allowed even to hold a cigarette lighted in the street. All your windows had to be covered with no candles, no, nothing.
Why?
American airplanes were already flying above, dropping bombs, and they did not want anybody to pinpoint where the depots were, where the ammunition dumps were. And this went on until it was 1944, Battle for Liberty of Manila, 1944, no? And we knew that the Americans were coming because we started in the marketplace. I was going to market then. I go to market. Everybody was looking and looking at a certain basket. And look inside.
Condensada.
Evaporated milk outside, no, made in the United
Yes,
States.
hey.
It
How
was
much?
700 for one tin. I was going to get one, but after all, you had
Just
Jerry.
for Jerry?
You had Jerry and you had Danny already.
Oh, Danny was there already.
But if you were caught
And
with
where
that,
was this again?
1940.
No, where?
Pasay.
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 Domingo,
Yeah,
Domingo.
Domingo.
Okay.
All right. Dominga.
Dominga.
So, no, it did not really. And that was the time when prices went up very, very high because it turns out that the Americans had dumped a lot of fake money in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, of course, the Japanese money value went down and everybody had money. Beggars would not accept 1 peso. And if you would go to a beggar and you say, 10 pesos sana ibigay ko, you have 100. Meron akong cambio.
Can you imagine that?
Meron akong cambio sa beggar. And one egg, when Jerry got sick, he needed an egg. The doctor said he had to have an egg. So I got a tube of corn. Now where did we get that? We'll tell you later where we got it. Got a tube of corn. And I went down to peddle it for 1 egg.
Question. Your sister Chola, is that another time frame?
No, it's the same one.
It's the same time frame. But I remember she had to eat how many eggs a day to fight
That
off
was before the
disease.
war. That was before the war.
Oh, okay. So it's a different time
Yes,
frame.
in a way.
Okay. Okay.
She died early in the war.
Okay.
Okay, so
Actually, she died when we came. By the time we came in,
she had just
She
died.
had died
Yeah,
already.
she had just died.
We came in from London.
Yes. Then, so Mama concentrated on loving her grandson because somebody else to love.
Yeah.
So Andoy was with us. He was supporting Mama. And Papa was supporting me by working with
Henares.
first Henares,
Yeah,
first Henares, and then later on with a certain man named Francisco Benitez,
Mhm.
whose daughter is Tati.
Mhm.
No.
Means what?
He's,
No, whose daughter was Virginia,
yes.
and then this Virginia has a daughter named Tati.
Mhm.
Okay, Tati loved Jerry.
How old were they then?
Oh,
College
no,
already.
when they were in college. So here is, as Papa says, he is Frankie Benitez, whose employee was Generoso.
Mhm.
So that this Frankie has a granddaughter, Tati, and Generoso,
Grandniece.
grandniece named Tati, and Generoso has a son named Jerry. And this is the girl who sent a necktie to him and said, Jerry, put it in a note, Jerry, you'll wear this necktie for me, won't you? Love.
Yeah.
Jerry did not even put it out of the box. Okay, so that was years later now when Jerry was grown up. But here it was 1943. Papa supported me, as I said, by being a first under Henares who was manufacturing cars, converting cars into those that could be run on charcoal, charcoal-fed cars. After that, he worked with this Benitez.
The same.
What the same?
The same job.
Also cars, also
Yeah.
cars. Oh. Now, meanwhile, what were they doing? Well, I was getting children, washing, ironing clothes. Mama was washing things like that. And then when the war was coming to an end already, when the war was
What year was this?
1944 na.
44?
1943, thereabouts. And the Americans were really concentrating on the Philippines already, and the Japanese were getting restive already, and we were being told to kura-kura every so often, and every time we passed by Japanese, you have to bow down, and they would slap you, and they would get your watches and everything like that. 8 girls, until one woman said, it's a story with that in Bacolod. The woman was walking along and she saw all the soldiers there. She lifted her skirt and said, oh, sige, tingnan mo, you look at me now if you want me, look at me now, come and rape me now, come here. It was so bad. Anyway, when it was already toward the end of the war like that, then, sure enough, bombs would start to fall. But it was so accurate, no? That before the bombing would come, they would drop leaflets and they say, all Filipinos stay away from this. They're going to bomb this place. And sure enough, all the place would be bombed and all the people would go around watching. And Andoy and Papa would built an air raid shelter under the stairs with sacks of sand all around. As soon as the bombing would start, Papa and Andoy would say, go to the air raid shelter, Mama, Biling, get the 2 children. And where would they be? Out of the window, looking at the bombs falling. The house
Who
would
is
shake.
who is this, Papa and Choroy? How about
Papa,
Choroy?
no, Roy had been asked to be the man of the house in another relationship, relatives. And then, so there it was, the Americans were winning, the bombs were falling, and I was walking one day, I was pushing, because he made a push cart for me to push
Jerry or
Jerry.
Danny?
Both Jerry and Danny, but this time it was Jerry because Mama was taking care of Danny at the siesta. Pushing, and just then the bombs were going to fall. So I sought shelter and against the wall of a German compound near our place, Kraut compound. And there was a Japanese officer also who went for shelter also right there because...
Was German pro-American in that war?
No, Germans were pro-Japanese.
Oh,
Pro-Japanese.
okay.
He was a Japanese officer. He was watching the bombing in Manila Bay.
Yeah.
He was saying, beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
because it was really beautiful bombing, it was a precision bombing. After he left, I was still there with my baby. Along comes this Spanish wife of the German owner of the compound.
Crowd.
In short, after talking, she said, where are you staying now? Oh, no, not yet, no. We have to be in camp, we have to be in fields yet.
After the second house we were in was
Burned, yeah. During this time, we were, as I said, as Papa said, we were in a house in Pampalinga. Then they kura-kura'd us, and they told us to get out of the house in 30 minutes because the whole place will be burned.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we had Papa already had a push cart, we already took in buses, we already knew what to do.
All your possessions.
No, not all,
No, not all.
because we put the 2 children inside. And we all went to the field, to the rice fields, Pasong Tamo,
Those are still...
all fields.
Okay.
And a lot of people went up there, and we all stayed there, and
Boom.
Pasay City was burned. Just burned, you could stay at one end and look across and reach City Hall. Nothing to visit. And meanwhile, there we were in the field, and you could see whoever would be eating, and a bomb would start, and boom, and we all go like that. It was over our position. And it was that way because the Americans were coming in from Ligayen that walked across through the place.
Mhm.
They were trying to enter from the Pasay side. The Japanese were also there. Now, when did we do when did we get all of those shoes? When did we get the
When we
shoes?
were in the fields.
Ah, all right. Now,
In Pasentama Fields.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now it turns out that the Japanese were really because house-to-house fighting.
Mhm.
So house-to-house fighting, sige. And the Japanese, before they, I don't know who ordered it. Nobody Coliseum, that's the Coliseum at present
Mhm.
had been the Vivoa, had been the place where the Japanese were staying. And they opened, it was a bodega,
Yeah.
which contained rice and corn and things. Before they burned the city, they opened it. Everybody just told the
Looted.
Yeah, everybody looted.
Yeah.
Andoy went there and he did that. Andoy and Papa went together, no?
Mhm.
They went ahead.
And he went ahead. You met there.
No, wait. Yeah, we were together.
They went together.
Mhm.
And they went out there and Papa carted a sack of cigarettes.
No.
What? Corn.
Shoes.
Golf clubs.
Oh,
Of
Because I,
all
could,
things.
because I couldn't find any.
But you can sell that anyway, right?
Anyway,
Everything together, right?
well, what we brought, I don't know who got it, but
Andoy got
Andoy got a sack
camera.
of, no,
sack of corn.
he got a sack of corn.
And
Good.
bundle of cigarettes.
And a half sack of cigarettes and a bell, because he knew that Jerry loved to play ice cream.
Very good. He
Yeah.
still thought of his
Still-
uncle of his nephew.
yeah.
Huh?
Oh. Now, what Papa brought was they went into a room which contained many dead Japanese. Later found out, not a stack of
Yeah.
hay. Later found out that it was a room where a lot of dead Japanese had been stacked up.
Mhm.
Anybody just pulled up shoes and tried to see which one.
Watches or what?
No, just
No
shoes.
watches.
No
Just
watches.
shoes. Just shoes. That's all they wanted. So I think they brought home 3 pairs.
Shoes were pasty in the boxes.
Still in
Oh,
boxes.
not off the
Not
feet.
off the feet, huh? Still in boxes. Okay, so they brought that thing. That is why I had corn to exchange for an egg
Oh.
when we had to. Now, where were we then? We had lost our house, it had been burned. We were all in the
Fields,
rice field.
Pasentama.
And the Americans were walking here and coming and shooting things like that. And that is when this German woman said, why don't you come and live in our garage? So we lived in a garage. And it was in that garage where we lived with relative comfort. There was running water and
Toilet was there.
the toilet was there, flush toilet, and Jerry played with Robert, the son of the
Mr. Crowd.
Mr. Crowd. Years later they met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years later they met. Okay, so we stayed there, and then the Americans came, and Papa
Enlisted.
He turned to military control.
returned to military control. So that's how it was that we had chocolate bars, and then the House of the Crowds became
This is still 1943.
44.
44 na.
Then 44. And the Crowd House became an R&R for soldiers, rest and recreation. So Americans would come all the way from Mindoro or from here, from there, they would come and stay in the Crowd House. And there was Jerry, a little 3-year-old boy, 2-year-old boy.
Who is the president of the United States?
Philippines.
Which one? The first one or the president?
Second one. Second one. Truman!
Oh, he's very intelligent, like his father.
Chocolate bar. Give him a chocolate bar. But this story that I like to tell. When the Americans were coming, of course, all of us Filipinos lined up. We were only the fields.
Yeah.
Lined up to see them. Say, G.I. Joe, whatever, big Victory Joe, we say
Yeah.
like that. And they were passing to, when they're walking, following the wall, you are not marching anymore.
Yeah.
You just walk, carrying the gun, just
Yeah.
walk at your own pace.
Yeah.
So they were struggling in a line of 1 or 2 or something. We were all there, water Joe, and people will offer water or things to eat. And then one of them threw chiclet in our direction. Everybody scrambled for it. And I could get 1 chiclet, which has 2,
Yeah.
which has 2 little chiclets
Inside.
Okay, so he goes home. Papa, me, Mama, Jerry, and
Danny.
Danny, no? Danny. And Andoy.
Happy.
I was scared each. We told Jerry, do not swallow it, do that swallow. Tell them that they not
Americano to, Americano.
Chewed. And then Andoy took it out and stuck it someplace and gave it lunch and took it out and put it in again. Chewed. Okay. Then another time, I think it was the next day, Andoy was walking, I think he was alone, walking along that way, and there was a jeep stranded and two GRs were trying to make it run, it couldn't. And Andoy said, probably I could help you. So he goes, Andoy is a wizard in such things.
Yeah.
Well, he got it running. And then the GR said, the Joe said, well, buddy, what can we give you? And Jerry,
Chocolate.
No, he said, what chocolate bar? There's a chocolate bar there. He said, if you could give me that, I'd be happy to get it. And they gave him two chocolate bars. He came home, di ba kati ka naman? The first chocolate bar we taken in 5 years. Ay, na.
What does GI stand for again?
Government issue.
No, genuine
Well,
Ilocano.
no, later on, everybody said genuine Ilocano. Pero then,
When Manong, when?
so, the Americans were
General what?
government issue. GI. Expendable. And then, later on, Andoy or Papa would bring the GI books. Then we knew the Americans were really there. We read the American books.
When did bombing of Hiroshima happen?
Bombing of Hiroshima?
That's
ended
when
the
the
war.
whole thing just ended, right?
After this portion, because after the Philippines was taken, everybody thought that MacArthur would go and get the island there and this island there and island there and then attend to Japan itself.
Yeah.
But it turns out that his strategy was, now that they were in the Philippines, using this as a base, they could go and drop a horrible bomb on Hiroshima. But they warned the Japanese first.
So they controlled us for a while. US controlled us for a while before US.
Before the war, we were owned by the
No.
during the,
Yes.
yes. Well, we were here, we were the base.
So they drove away the
Japanese.
Japanese,
Oh, yes,
but they stayed here and
they stayed
made
here.
us a base.
Oh.
And that's what happened. That's why we have a Clark Air Base in
Yes,
Subic.
yes, and so forth and so
Okay.
forth. Now, everybody expected them, as I said, to jump, leapfrog, as they
Right.
termed it. But no, what he wanted to do was go out there and destroy that thing. And they chose Hiroshima. And they warned,
Yeah, they warned.
everybody, they warned.
And they didn't believe, so they did it to Nagasaki after
So they
that.
dropped it once. Woo! And then after that, they dropped it in Nagasaki. And then by the time they give up Nagasaki,
That was 43, 1943.
43, August 13, something like that. And then, after that, there were still stragglers here in the Philippines. And Yamashita was the general that the Americans and the Filipinos were chasing. So they chased him here, all over up to Cagayan. And the stories came that since he wanted to travel easily, he buried his treasure. All the Yamashita, all the treasure that he had gathered from India, from all of those Malaysia, because he had conquered all of they had surrendered Parayan of the Philippines. He was carrying the weapons of bullion and and he buried them here in this
And
place.
that's what Imelda found. And Marcos. Is it the one?
That's what they say he found.
It's
And,
possible.
and they say that there was one Buddha, that one hollow Buddha, 1.5 feet tall, made of gold, empty, all stuffed with gold things, which was found in Baguio. And when Imelda was here, why her mother ni Doña Josefa went and just grabbed that thing. So that's we still are looking for that Buddha. And people are still trying to look for this treasure that had been buried by Marcos. And this guy, Noel Soriano, he got permission from the government to go and look for it, and he was digging up Fort Santiago because he was positive that Santiago was there. And they all booed him
That's a place you don't
you
destroy.
don't desecrate even for Santiago, etc. Anyway, Noel Soriano lost face because of that. He was president of UP, and from his findings, it was there.
Nada. But he didn't find anything.
No, he didn't find anything. Done anything. Okay, so that was 1944. Meanwhile, Papa was in the army. He was getting his army salary. I was working with the U.S. Veterans Administration. I was
Where was this?
here in Manila already.
Where in Manila?
My office was in Reina Regente.
Where is that?
That is near Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Plaza Santa Cruz. Working there, and I became editor-in-chief of the veterans. That was my first assignment. Knowing what to do with the newspaper. In fact, when they would ask me what my work was, because I went there, I like to tell this story about how I went and applied. So I went and applied, and Mr. Foster gave me a typing test. So he gave me the carbon paper, 2 pieces of paper, so I inserted it to the typing thing. I knew how to type. I mean, like it's like and gave me something to copy. And then when I put it on and gave it to him, the carbon paper was baliktad.
Yeah.
So everything was at the back. And he looked at all my mistakes and my speed, and he said, Mrs. Hill, he said, your speed is minus 12. I had answered him, and I remember I said, no, I didn't apply to be a secretary, a typist. And he said, what did you apply for? I said, well, to sit behind the desk. I said, okay, you wait, and if we need you, we'll send for you, and we'll get address. That was in the afternoon. The next morning, a jeep was at the door, and he said, Mrs. Hill, please report for duty today.
Good.
I went over. Okay, they put me there. I could not type at all, but at least I could write letters.
Where were you living as compared to your Santa Cruz work?
We already were living in because Papa had a job. He was already a lieutenant.
Okay. Where was this? Where were you based at?
No, the family was in Dominga.
Yeah, the family.
I thought
the
the crowd. I thought
Yeah, crowd is the
there's
reason.
Oh, okay.
Crowd. And then there was a little hut right within walking distance, just outside the gate, in fact, outside the fence. And we rented that house. And Papa was in Pampanga, in the army. So we'd come home weekends. So we lived there, and that's where, no, not Evelyn was born. Baby number
3, 4, 5, 6,
Four.
7.
number 3 was born in Lawag. Number 4 was the baby number 4. No, number 3 pala, Veronica. Basta, babies were born regularly after 2 years, after 3 years, and then die regularly. Meanwhile, I was working at Veterans Administration. All right. I stayed there, and as I said, became editor-in-chief. And then,
I got the job stand back and we went to Cebu.
no, before that, after the army, you got out of the army,
No,
then
I
you were a
didn't get out of the
lumberman.
army. I took you to Lawal while I went to the States
Ah, yeah, you went to the States, yeah,
under the auspices of the army.
of the army. Then you came back, and then you got out,
No,
because,
I came back
yeah, but what I mean,
from the army.
all right.
And then I was feeling that the war was getting short by the time to look for a job. And
So you got out.
I got out.
That's what I mean. You got out of the army after that. I mean,
No,
I was in
the
veterans
term
army.
the term is I
Reverted.
asked for reversion to inactive status. That's the one.
Okay.
So I was looking for a job. This is where Oscar.
Yeah, this is where we started all of this.
Yes, yes, yes.
Why were you out of a job?
Well, yes, yes. So from there, we went not to Bacoa, we went to Cebu, because standby.
And that's where you started the family.
Now me, when I found out that I was going to Cebu, because Papa was going to Cebu, there was a Veterans Administration in Cebu. So
Was that a branch of the one
Yes.
in Santa Cruz?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because it was the same Veterans Administration where Choponay was working later, not later, at the same time he was working as a
Rehabilitation, but he was based in Leyte.
in Leyte.
He
Yeah,
would come for weekends or maybe twice a month.
to visit his family in Cebu. Anyway, I actually transferred to the Cebu office so that all my transportation would be free and our baggage would also be free. Papa at the same time was being officially transferred. Were you being officially
No, I
transferred?
was hired for Cebu.
You were hired for Cebu. So your fare and all your baggages also would be free. So we go in there, now we're set for selling our piano, selling our sofa, selling our this and that. So we go out there traveling light with only 2 children. Mama said, Anna, when you go there and you're going to to move into the new house, all the neighbors they sit around to look at what furniture you're bringing in. If you want na ima-ima nga, you go there hand, bare hand, they will say, ay, walang kwenta, yung poko ito. So we brought, anyway, transportation was free. So we brought our furniture, our piano, our
What year was this?
1945 na.
Already.
1945. So we brought all of these, and sure enough, people were there, lined up to see what was coming up. Uy, piano! So the piano went up. Ay, bateria! So the bateria would go up. Uy, ganito, ganito.
How about from there to here, to Manila?
From where?
Cebu.
It was also free
Parents were still
transportation.
going to Cebu.
Yeah, that's why, because Mama pointed it that, are you telling me this came from Cebu?
Yeah, also it is.
This one?
Yeah, we bought this when we got married, we bought this in
Okay.
Manila.
Okay.
Then when we went to Bacolod, we brought it also.
Okay.
When we went to evacuation, we brought it also.
So this
Yeah.
one has gone almost throughout the whole Philippines, is that what you're saying?
Practically, yes,
Okay.
yes. I mean, no more south than Cebu and Bacolod.
Okay.
But we bought this in 1940, and now it is 1995. It's an antique talaga na antique. So,
It
from
cost 11 pesos.
Yeah.
yes,
You still remember.
First 11 pesos.
Uh-huh.
So, we went to Bacolod, we went to Cebu with our furniture, with our everything and our everything.
But
And
question again, you bought the house ready-made?
no,
Or
no,
what?
we rented.
Which?
That's in
The
the house.
we rented. We rented the house.
Two houses before we built our own house.
And then Mama came to live with us, and she said, "Anak, we like to live in the house. How can we live in the house? We have to get a radio and say, how can we get any good salad? What do we do in the house?"
You were a housewife back then.
No,
No,
not,
she
I
was
was
working.
teaching. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's when Mama came.
San Carlos.
Yes.
Teaching in San Carlos.
Yes. So Mama came, and she was the one who taught Jerry, who took care of Jerry and Danny. Of course, we had a maid, Mayang.
Right. Yeah?
Yeah, Mayang. She was 14 years old when we got her.
Okay.
So she knows, she really can.
So when I go to Cebu, I'll bring her. Okay. She should be the
She should know all those places.
yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Then we stayed in that house for about 1 year, 2 years.
Which one?
19.
Cebu,
Hindi
Pasay House.
hindi Pasay na.
Oh, in Pasay House.
Mr. Pasay.
Ah.
It's called Mr. Pasay, not in this Pasay here.
Okay.
And then Mama said, you have to buy a piece of fly, a lot, etc., etc. And Nana Mary, mother of Mimi, helped us because her husband was a geodetic, was in charge of the surveyor, geodetic engineer. And he had a lot of, he knew officially which pieces of land were for sale cheap, which were going to be rematado, who were going to be possessed. And they sold us that land on which our house was built.
Then Papa came along with the architect and built the house.
Yes, he built the house.
Uh-huh.
And then we left it after 11 years, 1949, 1960. We left it after 11 years. But during those 11 years, we had
Yeah.
the lower part rented to
Somebody.
the Aguases, you know that. And of course, you know how the Aguases decided to get the house. The Aguas people were a stiff Spanish couple. The woman was very, very strict with her children. And she was looking for a house. Okay, she came out and signed her for rent. So she and her husband came. We were upstairs. They came up to see us because we were living upstairs. We were going to rent the lower part.
Did you have a separate entrance like this one?
Yes.
Okay.
And we were, it was dusk. So they wanted to see this house, and we went down. And Danny was down on the little, there was a little balcony, just a landing about 1 meter square. You climb up 3 steps, go into that,
And
then
then
there's
landing and then go, yeah.
yeah, you know that kind. So there was Danny with his drill. He was drilling a hole in the ruin.
Yeah.
He really was
Yeah.
a hole there.
I
And-
have a picture of that.
You should have.
We have a picture.
Oh, we do have?
Oh, let's
all
dig it
right.
up.
Yeah, we do have a picture.
Yeah.
So we took that, and then when he looked up and he said, "Mama," he said, "where are you going?" I said, "We're going to show the house to the tenants." And he followed us, and when I was trying to open the door, he said, "Mama, let me open the door for you." So he got the key and he opened it, and I turned on the flashlight and we went, and I was flashing it around. "Mama, let me hold the flashlight for you." So I did it and we went up.
No electricity? Why not?
It is connected. It was not for, we were trying to economize. Why do we use this phone? So went around, and they said, "We'll take it." They said. Okay, months later, she told me, do you know what is in your house? I said, what? Because your son was so polite. He opened the door for you, you know, the flashlight. So we knew that if you could train your son to be that way, you must be a good father.
And you are.
I
You are.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you. The way Leah Salonga did you notice how she would end every piece? She would with her foot very upright.
Yeah.
Okay, now thank you. But anyway, they stayed
10 years.
9 years because 1 year. 1 year were those pilot couple. That sila is owner of Red Liner. Red Liner,
Yeah.
Lydia
Yes.
Ibanez. Anyway, they stayed long. They stayed long up to the very end.
Mylene? Wait, let me get that camera out of the room.
Since they were Ilocanos, they would play chess with another Ilocana woman who turned out to be the mother of Noel Soriano.
Oh, really?
I know. Yeah, Soriano, no? Because the husband was the engineer.
Yes. Both of them were Ilocanos.
Yeah, all Ilocanos. So Noel Soriano, Noel and Jerry became very good friends. No, that's the Noel who is here in, who became a UP friend and whose wife is Angge, who has been helped, who was buried. So they really know. They knew Jerry when he was a kid.
Ni Angie.
No, he know well. And then the Failnar nga, Lino Failnar is also from Cebu.
Cebuano.
Yeah, Cebuano also. Again, they were classmates in the high school.
Maybe I was born in the wrong generation.
No, you were not. You were not. The trouble is, we took you away from there when you were 3 months old. Exactly like how Jerry was taken away. Yeah, he was. Let's see.
Well, I was born 58, and this house is, we moved in
60.
here 60.
Yeah.
And you had a chuchi somewhere down there in
Yes.
Quezon Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you figure the math there, I really don't know.
You really wouldn't know a thing. So, well, up to now we write to Terry Aguas, you know, that Aguas girl. And what happens? So Terry Aguas grows up and runs a school, and on one of her school activities is to come to Manila to attend a conference.
Yeah.
But throughout these years, every Christmas she sends me a card, I send her a card. We just talk once a year lang once. So she calls up and she says, Mrs. Hill, I am here. I said, oh, you are? Okay, always let me come and get you. We were already in a position. It was only just last year only. We are in a financial position to already pick you up. So I was telling Jerry about it, and Jerry said, so you're going to take her out to dinner? I said, yeah, we'll do that. And then he said, went upstairs, came down. Mama, you might make use of this. He said, you tell her I should like to be the one to entertain her, because after all, we are the children. He said, and it was a gift certificate for lunch for 2,000 pesos. Right here, this Cocina de Jalinda or somebody, right here near. So I go and pick her up at 10 o'clock, and I said, good Lord, what are you going to do until 12 o'clock? She had with her two nephews and one niece. How could I entertain them? And it turns out, well, was it Noni or Rene who was the driver? Noni, it was Noni or Rene. Last year, May. And then I said, well, before we go to have lunch, I said, where would you want to go so we can pass by? Oh, I'm glad, Mrs. Hill, my two nephew and niece, we have not gone anywhere, nobody has taken us around, we don't know where to go. She said, okay, Noni, let us pass by Commercial Center, let us pass by Our Lady of Peace, then let's go to the mall.
That was just last year, right?
Yeah, just last year. So we went around riding and all the traffic, they saw this, they saw that, yun pala yun, and then this and that. And we made a quick shoot through Forbes Park, and we saw the houses there. And Noni knew just where to take us. That's what surprised me.
Well,
He knows.
he has 15 years experience behind him.
Of driving all places.
So,
He knew just where to go, so he would pass under the under the super highways, under the cross those flyovers and things like that. And then at 11:30, almost 12, we went to the Casa Linda, or the place for eating. And I showed them, I said to the kids, look, I said, you have 2,000 pesos, you can spend it on buy anything. Said, and if you go about 2,000, I still can pay you. Oh, they ordered this, they ordered that, they did not want one half of this because they this Terry said, that's too much for you. You buy only one, you only got 1 peso. And they said, no, they decided they would take it. Oh, we really spent all
And even more.
And then I took them back to their house, and when they
Where
arrived,
they live? Where were they living?
here in Pasay area.
For that trip, they were staying in Manila.
They were staying
At the
at the
relatives'
relative
Yeah,
place. So I brought them back there, and you know how nice she was. She went back to Cebu in about 3 weeks.
Thank you, God.
No, a box of mangoes, the export kind, each one wrapped in a piece of paper, that kind, and all stacked up beautifully like that by plane. It was delivered to the house. Naku. Then she called long distance, direct dialing. She didn't have direct dialing, but she had. She said, did you get it now? Oh, sure, thank you very much. You didn't have to really, you know, the use of
Yeah.
You didn't really. Well, I hope Jerry will enjoy it. Tell him we enjoyed the lunch. So Jerry was really, as you say, a very giving man.
He's a giver. My eldest brother is a
Yeah,
giver.
he's a giver.
I have no
Doubts about that. He really
as Amelia said, she only met him one time when Jerry was in Danny's house. This last time he was flying over to his
Yeah, to
quote-unquote friend in New York, right? And Amelia was there. So we had dinner and Amelia was beside Jerry, right? And they had small talk like that. And now that he died and Amelia's getting to read all the newspaper clippings, I got a letter from her today. She said, well, that's always typical. But what she said is, I wish I had gotten to know him more. But even then, it was still an honor that I met.
Oh, she said, huh? That's an honor that
It was an honor that I met him, even if I didn't get to know
Yes,
him.
yes, yes. Oh. Yeah, you got to know who he was after reading all of that.
Even us didn't know what my eldest brother was all about.
I didn't know, I didn't know. You didn't know.
All I knew is she was a
All
lazy
you
blonde.
know
Huh?
about him was he was safe.
Yeah, I have it in video too.
Yes, yes, yes. He was. He really was a giver also. He was a great giver.
I'll miss him.
You know,
Then
even
again, he still didn't wait for me. None of my brothers and sisters did.
for us,
None of them.
already there after it makes I hope he's recognized.
I don't class him.
Walang alam. When everybody says you're so intelligent, walking an ambulant
Encyclopedia.
almanac,
Almanac.
and all these facts and figures, computer-like memory. There are times really when he would say something like, Mama, Belize is a small country, the population is only 2 million.
Well, good morning. So much for August 14th. And that was that. A history of what really happened back during the war. And now it's August 18th. And what time is it? It is now 6:53. And in a little while we will be going over to see Jerry and Macy at the Loyola. Hopefully the money we paid 70 pesos per month.
400
400
to have the
we had the
headstone.
headstones fixed and the grass green attended to. We will see if that is true or not. So over and out. So as I said a while ago, we are on our way to Loyola Marikina, and this guy is cutting us off.
Cut across. Look at that, huh?
Uh-huh.
Right to left lane.
But even here there's signal light. So this EDSA, and this one is Is this
Flyover.
flyover of what?
Flyover of...
Ortigas?
Yes.
Ortigas, yeah. Right there.
And that is Sarsi.
And that is Sarsi, right? Yep. Then we're gonna buy flowers too. And I believe it is 15 pesos per pot. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Pot? Okay.
Lot.
Well, you could have bought Lim's lot, right?
No, when we wanted to negotiate, they would not consider it at all.
Really?
When we bought our lot, Jean, it had not, that Lim's lot had not yet been bought, no? In fact, it was Jerry who paid for the second lot.
Involves Filipino women and supposedly UP students.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. And that was for Macy. Okay, we're back at this place. The headstone of Jerry will just be installed right now. It was supposed to be installed yesterday, August 17th, but it's only now. So here we are. Saba, dun yata eh. Doon. Could you tell them where? Yan, salamat ho. Generoso Jerry J. Gill Jr. Born March 23, 1942. Died July 28, 26, 1995. Over here, Visitacion J. Gill.
You should wash your face.
Yeah. November 30, 1955. July 11th, 1979. Died. There are my two, one
Just wash your
brother and one sister lying here. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, you can take pictures.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Yan. Ayan, gasolina. Lalagyan ng gasolina yan eh.
Oh, you need gasolina. No. Gasolina is cheap.
Sino pa caretaker niya?
Si Ferrer.
Ferrer.
Si
Boy.
pag ito, ayos na.
Okay.
Okay.
Now put flowers. Thank you. Papa, let's have pictures again.
Well, so much for Loyola. We are now going home, back to Makati, and that's it.